All right, last email. Stephen from Brisbane. In the 2017 Sony Paris Games Week video, Jeff talked about a game demo where he played Sprint Vector in a pseudo-tournament with other press members where the game devs cheered and high-fived each other constantly. What's the weirdest event or demo you've ever been to? And or what's the most embarrassed you've ever felt at an event?
Event or demo opens it up to like
Quite a that's a wide range.
All right. So
I was at that Sprint
yeah,
Vector
you were
one.
at that
I
Sprint
remember
Vector demo. It was really, they like had a bracketed tournament, and they were very gung-ho about their game, and people should, they're making a game, they believe in it, like all that stuff. I don't want to say like, oh, they're passionate about their game, what a bunch of nerds. But it was like,
But like we walked in, they opened the door, and like one guy was like, "Welcome, ladies and gentlemen."
Yeah,
We're like, what? Did they all like make an arm tunnel for you to walk through?
that would not have been out of character.
And
for
they had
what
given us the sweatbands and everything.
Like, put on your sweatbands. You need to know what team you're on. Put on your sweatbands. Like, I don't want to do that.
That was like that was an embarrassing demo, not my most embarrassing, but I had a bad my elbow was hurt. So I couldn't do
wow,
and like the
okay,
whole thing is like momentum.
Right.
And so there was this very nice woman giving me the demo or whatever, but then I couldn't get a rhythm and I was struggling. She's like doing I'm in the VR, but I can hear her. She's like, "You're doing great." And I'm like, I can't climb this fucking wall. And he's like, you're gonna get. I'm like, I got the idea. Thank you.
I made it to the finals and then lost in the finals.
Who beat you?
I don't know.
Is that why you're so sour about that
Exactly.
event?
Yeah. I'm just very salty about the whole experience. Probably okay. Well, so the weirdest demo I think I was in was the Crash Bash demo.
I didn't know if you were going to bring it up or not. This was the first thing I thought of
when they brought Mark Cerny around.
But I also figured if we told the story, we wouldn't say who it was.
But
here we go.
So
Strap in.
All right. So they brought Mark Cerny around to demo Crash Bash, the party game, the Mario Party game.
And this is 2000, I believe, because I was an intern.
Okay.
And that was the summer that I interned.
And were you sitting in on this?
Yes, I was there.
Okay, you were there
in the
for
room.
this. So
I want to say maybe Ryan was? No, Ryan wasn't there.
I think it might have just been you and me.
Maybe. Or maybe Ben Stahl was there, or somebody else was. I feel like somebody else was there. Anyway.
Yeah. So, they come in to demo the game. Like, tons of publishers were coming in to show off games all the time. It was, whatever. And they brought Mark Cerny because he was the face of the game in a lot of ways. Like as he had been with Crash. Like, obviously, Mark Cerny was already Mark Cerny at that point. You were like, that's the guy that made Marble Madness. But, he was not necessarily like a hardware architect at that point. He was consulting, I think, at the time. He was
still more of a game design guy at the time.
And so they brought him in, and they showed off some of the demos. And the person, the PR person that was with him, she was very much like, I need to get him some coffee and some of this other stuff. And it was like, again, not necessarily out of the ordinary. But for me, the most awkward moment was one of the games is you're hopping around on all these squares. And you have to hop in a square, and it'll color all of the squares. Your color. It's like almost like a Cubert thing. Not quite. So the way you would. So I asked the question. I said, like, so, does that mean if you were to just be able to hop all the way around the outside edge of the level and color in it all your color, would you then win? And his response was, oh, well, yeah, but no one, that doesn't really. It doesn't really happen. So then they had me play it, and that was the first thing I did, and I did it, and I was like, okay, and then there was a very awkward stare and silence at me, and I was like, and all I could think to say was like, okay, well, that's what else you got, and which was then met with continued silence.
I don't think that was received perhaps the way it was meant.
And then eventually the demo continued, but it was definitely this moment of just like, okay, I was not expecting this to go there, but it very much did. And yeah, that was probably the most awkward demo. When you ask me about awkward demo moments, that is the one that goes up in my mind.
Yeah.
Sprint Vector is that was silly.
Yeah,
but like whatever. I've been in that demo a dozen times.
But the thing about it was it was silly and weird, plucked at a time. Like, I feel like I don't have those demos anymore. Like, when I started in 2007 and 8, we're getting all that weird shit, right? That was the most bizarre of things you'd go to do. I remember, like, this isn't my most awkward demo, but like for me, it was the one I got assigned. IGN, I've been there like 3 months or whatever, and I got assigned to go to Palm Springs for the Sierra event.
Oh, you went to one of those.
And it was that thing of like, cool, how many games I'm seeing? All right, you're going to see 2. You're in charge of 2 games on this list, 2 games that don't even matter. They weren't wet. And I was like, cool, you're going there for 4 days.
Yeah.
And I was like, excuse me? And like, yeah, it's this place they shoot a reality shit. And Sierra just fucking dumped money on this and sent all these people there to these things and through crazy parties. And I remember talking to my mom on the phone, and she's like, so how is it? How's this event? And I'm like, I feel dirty.
Yep.
Like, this is one of those things of like, I just graduated with the journalism degree and did the whole ethics course.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I guess, a year and a half I had graduated. But it was like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, why is this how this industry works?
Like, I just want to see these games.
And then Sierra imploded, and the bubble burst, and that stopped.
Well, there's like that, and then like, Atari had some events like that,
so I was
too.
going to mention that. I never went to those Sierra ones, but from what I remember, that was what, 06, 07?
Yeah, 07 probably.
From what I remember, that was around the tail end of publishers pulling shit like that.
Yeah.
I went to those Atari, 2 of the Atari ones that were like years before that. It was the same situation.
Like
of
Hawaii and
Mexico.
Mexico.
They're both in Cabo. And yeah, it was the same situation of like, I mean, ostensibly like, hey, we're showing our whole lineup. Come down and see all of the games we have in development right now.
Right.
But yeah, realistically, you had like 2 games to cover, and you were there for 3 days.
Yeah.
And I remember the first one we went to, we sent enough people to cover all those games and like have all the coverage up like super early.
Right. That was the very much the GameSpot way. It was like, we need to send enough people to have all this covered immediately.
Let's get them all written up as soon as they're seen. Let's get it all on the website before anybody else. And then we get there and then find out at the event that there was an embargo until after the event was over.
Yeah.
We could have sent one person to cover everything.
Yeah.
And it was bad. Like,
yeah, that stuff.
The game industry used to throw an embarrassing amount of money around
Well, it's just
publicity
funny.
and marketing. And,
It's funny
like,
because on all of these fronts, the timelines didn't line up.
Yeah.
Is that those I always think of the Bourne Identity game they put out or whatever, the Bourne Conspiracy or whatever.
Yeah.
Where I walked out and they're like, "Oh, we're sending a car to get you." All right, and I walk out and I see somebody in the parking lot of IGN taking like telescopic photos, and I'm like, "That's fucking weird," but whatever. And I get in this car, and I'm heading. Oh, this was the one where they had sent us the phone, and the phone was like, in a week you're gonna get an update, and then it was this, and then meet the car down there, and you got in the car, and it was like they did this whole thing, drive me all around San Francisco to pick up briefcases and do this to bring me back to sit me down to show me the fucking game, and then give me they took the photos of me here, there, and the other places, and it was just like that would have been awesome for a YouTuber who was like super into Bourne, like as us, it was just like. Can you bring the fucking game to my desk and let me play it? And
just send the goddamn game.
Send us a
Can I
copy
do
of the
direct
game,
feed?
that's
Can
it.
I do this? Can I do that? Like, don't.
All that other stuff was so in the way.
Yeah.
Of just like, oh, okay, you're telling me I have to go to fucking Mexico to see your lineup.
Yeah.
Right? When you, and not necessarily in Atari's case, but like there were definitely cases like Capcom, stuff like that. It's like, you're fucking 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
You want me to go to fucking Rome to see your fucking games.
Yeah.
Like, why? This is terrible. This is a horrible use of everyone's time.
Yeah.
Like, just let me come see the lineup. And yeah, they would... Because I think a lot of the people, like, with these budgets planning these events, they're planning them because they wanted to go on them. And, it, like, I certainly had fun, and it was...
Oh, sure, yeah.
Like, sure, why not, I guess. But at the end of the day, it was just a hassle.
Yeah, exactly. And it was... Because it, like... Whereas now it would make sense to send a YouTuber who does a vlog and does this, and hey, I'm doing that.
And like a lot of makeup companies and stuff do exactly that.
And we just want to go play the game and come back and tell the audience about it. Like, don't make it as easy as possible.
Send it.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
send it.
Oh, I know, right? No,
Yeah.
But the worst demo I ever had.
Got these debugs. Collecting dust.
I haven't used a debug
This generation
in so long.
is like debugs are dead.
Yeah.
It's PlayStation 4 I have just sitting there, debug, nothing more. Worst
Every
demo I
90
ever
days,
had.
turn it back on though.
I know, right? Here comes the firmware.
Yeah.
I did an E3, and it was the year Connect was just happening, and it was Michael Phelps swimming or whatever, Olympic swimming.
Yeah.
And so it was me, like, all right, cool. They put me side by side with some other games person, all right. And at first, like, you just stretch to warm up, and like, so I do like this, and I do this, and he does Kermit the Frog arms, and they're just all over slapping him in the face. And I'm like, oh. Here we go. And so you jump in the water, and I'm going as fast as I can. I'm doing this, and the guy next to me is going, he's just cruising, and my guy hits the water and is just... And so and like if you're a listener at home, I'm moving my arms very slowly. I'm panicking though, and I'm hot. It's E3. I'm moving. I'm doing all this shit. Nothing is happening. Nothing. I get one lap in, and I'm fucking mad now. And I look over at the PR person. The PR person just like, I'm expecting them to say, "All right, cool, demo's over." I look at them, and they just shrug.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, and I'm like, I literally go, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And I'm like, and so I go back to fucking horrible swimming, and I was like, I hate Connect, and I hate everything that's happening here.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, it is nice occasionally though to get those real moments from people representing a game where they're just like, yeah, I know.
I don't know, man. Just got to finish this race. There's no way to quit. That was the thing. The other guy beat me, lapped me.
Yeah,
I was like, we just got to finish the race.
It's like, all right,
great, thanks guys. Fun. This is good.
I'm done. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff like
games.
that too.
Yeah.
Games are dumb.
But they don't. Those events just don't happen as much anymore, or the extravagant ones really don't. But I feel like there aren't quite as many events as there used to be. Period, because like there aren't as many publishers out there that have large lineups to begin with.
Yeah.
So the idea, it used to be that every publisher, you go like, oh well, I got to go out here for Namco.
Well, it was Captivate, right? That's what Capcom
Capcom had Captivate. Yeah. And so.
Where they held you captive,
right? Yeah,
and then Call of Duty used to do it too. We're like, we're sending you to some crazy place to review Call of Duty where it's a beautiful beach resort, but you're going to sit in a hotel.
Take a helicopter to go play Call of Duty.
Right, I rode on a helicopter and then to sit in a dark room and play Call of Duty. Like, oh, that was a fun experience. Like, it's the thing that people don't get is like, oh, they're treating you so lavishly. You must be giving these games high scores. Like.
This actually works against them.
This is actually like a really super negative thing.
Totally. Not that you take it out of the game.
But of course. But
never benefits the way.
Like, oh, so you're taking me away from my friends and family and locking me up for this thing that I could be playing on my own TV, on my own time.
Right.
And it makes even less sense as time goes on. So fewer companies do it. I don't even know if Call of Duty did one this year.
Yeah, that's why it is that thing when I get hey, it's a review event. I'm like, you're doing a review event for this game? We just got one recently for a game, and I'm like, I'm not sending somebody down there for 2 days.
It feels antiquated.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I feel like I've gotten 2 invites this year, and I like I said, I don't know if Call of Duty did one or not.
I don't know either. I didn't get invited.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for emails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com. Greg, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you. This has been great, guys.
Yeah,
we need to do more stuff together.
Yeah, we should.
A Halloween to remember.
A breakdancing.
There you go. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm pretty much just top of the mind. Like, we should.
That's the first thing.
Yeah, all right, cool.
First thing that comes to mind.